Hello, welcome back. It's Mark from supergenius99.com, and today in this video lecture I would like to address absolute value. Okay, absolute value is really saying what is the distance a number is from 0 on a number line. So let me just draw a number line real quick. Let's say you got a number line like so. Okay, and you got 0 in the center. And then you got some numbers going this way, so you know as you go to the right, numbers increase. And then as you go to the left, numbers decrease. So those are negative, okay? So the numbers to the right of 0 are positive, numbers to the left of 0 are negative, okay? And so absolute value is saying how far is a number from 0. So like 2, if you ask yourself how far is the number 2 from 0, well, its absolute value would be 2 because it's 2 units from 0. Well, it's also true that negative 2 has an absolute value of 2 because its distance from 0 is what? 1, 2 spaces. So when you think of absolute value, you need to think of distance, okay? So one example I like to use, if you and your friend are meeting up in a center place, maybe your favorite restaurant. You know, if you're coming from the west and he's coming from the east, even though you're coming from different directions to a center location, no one ever says, well, my distance to my favorite restaurant is a negative 2 miles. No. So when you think of absolute value, you want to think of distance. Okay? And distance is never positive. Distance is never negative. You never say, it took me negative 2 miles to get here. It's always positive. Okay. So now with that in mind, let's work on this first one. What is the absolute value of negative 21? Well, just the absolute value of negative 21 is 21 because we're asking ourselves what is the distance that negative 21 is from the number 0. Distance is never negative, so the absolute value of negative 21 is 21. Okay. How about the next one? What's the absolute value of 21? Well, you're asking yourself what? How far is 21, or what is the distance that 21 is from 0? Its value is also 21, okay, because we're talking about distance. Now let's look at this next one. What is the negative of the absolute value of negative 21? Well, the absolute value of negative 21 is what? 21, but then I have this negative sign on the outside, so I'm saying get the negative of the absolute value of negative 21. Well, the absolute value of negative 21 is 21. But then if I negate it, that becomes negative 21. Okay? How about the next one? What is the negative of the absolute value of 21? Well, the absolute value of 21 is 21. But there's a negative on the outside. So now, if I'm saying get the negative of the absolute value of negative 21, that is also negative 21. So think of it this way. Anything inside the absolute values always comes out to be positive. But like on these last two, if you have a negative sign sitting in front of those absolute values, then that absolute value changes. The value changes because now you're saying what is the negative of the absolute value. Absolute value is positive or 0, but then if you negate it, it becomes negative. Okay? Now how about these two? Get the absolute value of negative 3 plus negative 7. Well, negative 3 plus negative 7 is what? Is a negative 10. Okay? But then if I get the absolute value of a negative 10, what's the absolute value of negative 10? That's how far is negative 10 from 0. What is the distance negative 10 is from 0? The distance negative 10 is from 0 is 10. Okay? And then here's a similar one. We already know what the negative 3 plus negative 7 is. That's negative 10. Okay? And the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. But there is a negative sign in front of that absolute value, so now I have to negate that answer. So now that's negative 10. Okay, so remember absolute value, you're asking yourself, what is the distance a number is from 0? Distance is always positive or 0. You don't say I traveled negative 2 miles to get to the mall. Okay, distance is always positive. So thank you for watching this video lecture of absolute value. You can look me up online, www.supergenius99.com. Thank you for watching.